did.
The next item is number 11, an application for a certificate of appropriateness in the Borough of Brooklyn, docket number 15-3711, block 1965, lot 37, 212 Greene Avenue in the Clinton Hill Historic District. An Italianate neo-Greek style row house designed by Benjamin Linikin and built in 1876 and later altered with the construction of projecting storefront. The application is to replace storefront infill, install a canopy and lighting, and paint masonry.
Good morning, Commissioners. Caroline Passion, Preservation Staff. The subject property is located on the south side of the street, mid-block between Grand Avenue and Cambridge Place. Here's a photo showing the projecting storefront at circa 1940. And this storefront was actually installed probably circa 1908 because we know that the adjacent storefront here at 214 was installed at 1908 by architect Axel Hedman. Here's a designation photograph showing the storefront. You'll see here that there was an awning at that time. Here is kind of like more recent photographs of the storefront. You'll see that a waterfall awning was installed. And then more recently, the architect removed it to reveal that the crenellated parapet is still intact. So the application before you today is to remove the existing storefront infill and a low bulkhead seen here, and to install single and paired doors with paneled bulkheads. And the architect from Cloud Architecture is here to discuss this proposal.
Okay, thank you. Just go up front. I put your name on the record.
My name is Ostap Rudipevich. I'm the architect of record. So as Caroline was saying, we're proposing to remove the existing waterfall awning, which was installed illegally. We're also going to remove the security gate that's existing and replace it with an infill of operable wood windows that are full height and a new glazed entry door with painted on lettering on the glass. There's also a single light fixture that we're proposing centered above the door. The crenellated brick we're proposing to keep intact and the brick to be repointed to a new condition. We're proposing to cover the sides of the existing storefront opening because the brick work is in poor condition, as evidenced in this photograph. There's some very old pieces of hardware, the security gate, and actually the mortar of the brick is in a sad state. Contractors indicated that they couldn't really repoint this without severely damaging the existing brick. The existing brick is actually, which I don't know if you can really see it, but it's not a traditional brick. It's a wire cut newer brick. There's lots of problems with it, and actually the bulkhead wall itself is sloping to some degree, so there's some issues here as well. The surrounding context is this is the other side of the street where there are colored brownstones. This is our properties here, so this is next door. These are some precedents in the neighborhood. This is 290 Grand Avenue, where we see a painted storefront with operable windows and a similar sign band that we're proposing to remove. And then down the street on Greene Avenue, there's Aida, which has a wood-paneled storefront as well. The materials we're proposing are simply painted wood in this color, which is a Benjamin Moore deep royal color. It's a dark blue color. And the idea is that at night the storefront would receive during the dinner service. This is a proposed restaurant, and the interior would sort of stand out in contrast to the dark painted facade to draw people into the interior. There's no signage being proposed aside from the painted on address
Okay. Yes, Diana? And-
Yeah, I just wanted to ask a question about what's actually this, what's currently there behind that vinyl, stuff and that you've got. No, I'm talking about the upper part, right by the window, because I was wondering if the way that obscures the windows in the front of the building, if one couldn't have something like just an iron railing and a cornice or something instead of this, brick parapet, whatever that's there. So I'm wondering what was there originally? Is that brick there and you're just uncovering it, or you're reconstructing?
As far as we know, I mean, we took off the waterfall awning and it's there, so we're not proposing to modify this brick aside from just repointing it.
Maybe go back to the text.
So that's what's there behind the vinyl whatnot?
Yeah, you can see it in the.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for, the
1965,
historic picture, yeah. I didn't
photo.
see that in here, maybe it's in there. Okay, it's just kind of so odd and kind of obscures the windows there. But, thank you.
No, it is little, I think, in terms of material, just to see that brick and nothing, it doesn't relate to anything, but yes, it was there, so.
Do we have any idea when it was added, or curiosity?
Often typically got storefront extensions in the early 20th century, so it could have been in like teens, 20s,
Yeah.
30s. And obviously it's before the 1940 tax photo, but it's a 20th century alteration to the row house. The stoop was removed, storefront extension was added, and it was all for commercial use.
Right, so in this particular state, so as we've seen in an earlier photograph, and as the designation report states, that in 1908, the adjacent storefront at 214 was constructed. This projecting storefront was constructed at 214 Greene Avenue by Axel Hedman, so that we know, but by the time of designation, most likely, we're talking about early teens, early quarter of the century, possibly,
Thank you.
for this storefront.
Patty?
Okay, Roberta, you okay? Another question?
Well, there's, my question is similar.
Yeah.
It's just that parapet seems sort of out of place in the new elevation, so if the architect had proposed covering it or not, we'd look at that too, but since it's there.
Okay, any other questions? Any testimony? Okay. Barbara Zay, thank you.
Barbara Zay of the Historic Districts Council. When our committee reviewed this application, we didn't see that it was going to be repointed, but that was mainly our question, was that it would be
Yeah.
cleaned and stripped, and we're happy to see that this is going to be revealed. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, thank you. And the Community Board Land Use Committee recommends approval. Okay. Discussion, thank you.
Well, this is an egregious addition to a brownstone that would never be allowed today because of this very group of people that sit around this table every Tuesday. But it's there, and it's not going anywhere unless an applicant wants to tear it all down. So I think this is the next best thing to that. I think this is kind of corralling it, its rambunctiousness, and making it kind of elegant in its own way. And making it a part of a more refined streetscape. It still does violence to the building behind it, but much less so, and I think therefore it's approvable.
I concur. Perfect and ideal, no, but doing the best you can with what part of the building you have control over, I think it definitely meets that standard, and I think it also will improve the look of the overall district. So.
Okay, Michael?
The repointing is, I think, going to be problematic because you've got wire-cut brick that has been horribly pointed with a Portland cement. And so getting that stuff out is going to be terrible. I think one of the best things that's happening is that you're actually covering it on the lower part of this. But you are going to have to be extremely careful if those joints are machine cut. But everything's an improvement that you're doing, so I'm in favor of this.
I'm in favor of it also for those reasons. I mean, I don't think that we can possibly repoint this stuff on the side. I mean, you really have to put the panels in. And I think it's an improvement that they took out the, what do you call that thing? The security gate, yeah, the roll thing. I mean, it really has cleaned it up nicely, and I can support it the way it is. It's a vast improvement.
I agree.
Everything,
Disagree?
ev-
Okay.
everything's, definitely the project is a great improvement over what's
Wish you were
there now.
covering more.
Okay, hearing is closed with a motion and a second. And Chris, you want to do
Did
this,
they do
please?
that
It's
to,
number 11?
Craig. He
Wait,
certainly
yeah, 11.
isn't from stucco heaven, this guy.
To the issue of 212 Greene Avenue, Clinton Hill Historic District, I'm recommending approval, finding that the removal of the waterfall awning and roll-down gate will eliminate unsympathetic alterations that detract from the significant architectural features of the projecting storefront, that the removal of the plain brick bulkhead will not result in damage to or loss of any significant historic fabric, that the proposed storefront infill consisting of paired and single wood and glass paneled doors with a painted dark blue finish will be harmonious with the building and with other storefronts along Greene Avenue and within the historic district, that the configuration of the proposed storefront, including operable doors featuring transoms and wood paneled bases, will recall the proportion of historic storefronts with paneled bulkheads when closed, and that the proposed modifications will enhance the special architectural and historic character of the Clinton Hill Historic District.
Second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Approved. Thank you.